Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CFA Society India's webinar today about lockdown and opportunity for good nutrition and change. Today's webinar is being conducted by Ms. Shalini Manglani. We all know the importance of health, but have always given more importance to wealth, haven't we? Now, this lockdown gives us a unique opportunity to introspect on our health and habits. In this session, let us learn what it takes to create a healthy lifestyle, maintain sleep hygiene, and eat good, simple food. Shalini is a board certified nutritionist based in Bangalore, India. Her unique approach to diet, nutrition is flexible and forgiving. She believes that a good understanding of nutrition helps one achieve a healthy long-term relationship with food. She has counseled CEOs in different companies in Bangalore and worked with homemakers to make their kitchens more dynamic. She's a consulting nutritionist in private practice at Sita Bhateja Specialty Hospital in Bangalore, in India, and her office on Museum Road in Bangalore with a client base all over the world. She's a member of the Untitled Chapter in Bangalore that helps empower women to upscale their businesses and is an honorary member of Buffett Club and Millennium Mans, an investment forum that helps women manage their investments. The Bhagavad Gita is a spiritual guide, and she strongly believes that spiritual health is as important as material and physical health. And this is me, Ratnasri Karra, welcoming Shalini Manglani for the session today. I'm a CFA from ICFI 1998 batch and registered with SEBI as an investment advisor. I am an investment advisor and founder of a brand called Her Money, which I set up in 2013, where we educate, coach, and advise my clients to make them active investors. So let's move on to hand it over to Shalini, who will be talking to us about good health. So Shalini, are you ready now to go?
I'm ready, Ratnasri. Thank you so much for the introduction. It's always a pleasure to exchange pleasantries and be with you. Let me jump right in. Okay, so to everyone here, welcome. We're all safe, we're all indoors, and I see this as a very, very unique opportunity to rebuild our habits, to change our lifestyle, and to see if we can take these habits forward. So before I start, a quick acknowledgement that being safe and being at home is a luxury. So let's make the most of it, and let's go a little beyond and see what we can do to help ourselves. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm just going to go extempore. I have a bit of an issue with my slides. So let's first establish what has changed in our lives. What has changed for us is that we are at home more. We are more sedentary. We're with our families more. Now, this could be chaos for some people. This could be a matter of, well, sukoon and happiness for some people. So how we make the most of it is what's going to determine how we come out of this lockdown, right? The first thing we need to establish and understand is that at whatever part we might be, all of us have become more sedentary. So how do we tackle this? Either we increase our output by way of exercise, or we focus on our food and we make tiny reductions wherever possible. There are 4 tenets of nutrition that I want everyone to just understand very quickly before we jump into portion sizes. The first thing is water. Let's keep ourselves well hydrated. About 1.5 to 2 liters of water should be enough to take everyone through the day. So let's keep ourselves well hydrated. If you get bored with water, let's add a dash of lime in the water. Let's have a buttermilk at some point in the day, but keep yourself hydrated. You could even do like a weak tea without milk and sugar. You could do some nice, ginger tea with some cloves. There are lots of different ways to get your water intake up. So keep the hydration going. The second thing is the exercise. There are tons of apps available now. We can all access these apps. There are 5-minute videos, 7-minute videos. You can do exercise on the spot. You can do exercise lying down on your bed. You can do yoga asanas in a small corner in your home. If you're someone who cannot exercise, then reduce your intake and maintain the balance. The next thing that we have to look at is our emotional balance. We're all going through change. So let's not become emotional eaters. Let's focus. Let's not equate everything with hunger. For example, if I'm feeling sad, I could probably pick up the phone and call a friend rather than reaching out for some food. If I'm bored, I can maybe watch some television. I can read a book. I can keep myself entertained. This is such precious time with family. If you're living with family, and if you're living alone, it's precious time as well. So either which way, we're at an advantage. We also make sure that when we're feeling sad and lonely, if that happens, that is, reach out to people. If you're feeling bored, if you're feeling tired, put your feet up, have a cup of coffee, have some water, rest a little bit, sleep a little bit. There's no need in every single situation to reach out to food. Food is meant for nourishment. We're going to set our timings today onwards, and we're going to stick to those timings, and that's what's going to get us through this period beautifully. Moving on, what are the small tweaks in lifestyle that we can make? My strong advice to anyone listening today would be just learn from this session how to eat a balanced meal. I think that is perhaps the most important thing that anyone needs to understand. So we first establish how many meals a day we want to eat. Perhaps we want to eat 3 meals. You could be a 3-meal person. You could be a 2-meal person. You could be a 3-meal plus a snack person. You take your pick. But once you set that in, set it in stone. Don't then go meandering off to the kitchen for a snack. Figure out your meals and stick to them. Now, once you figure out what meals and snacks you want to have in the day, let's look at what a balanced meal should look like. If anyone has just basic cups at home, any cup, it doesn't have to be a baking cup, just take a katori. So if you have a basic katori at home, which is approximately 200 grams, and another katori, a tinier one, which is approximately 100 grams, I'll run you through a quick demonstration of how to eat. I want you to picture a plate in your mind. So draw a circle. Half the circle should always be covered with vegetables. So when I say vegetables, think of the rainbow, think of all the different colors of vegetables, but the hero has to be the dark green leafy vegetables. It is very, very important to take dark green leaves to keep your iron uptake high. So your hero is the dark green leaves. These could be your palak, your pudina, if you're a fancier person and you have it available right now, it could be your basil. Otherwise, it could just be a simple kothmir chutney. That's a coriander chutney. It could be nogge sopu if you're in the south of India. This is a very basic green that a person can eat. Any of this would do. So keep the dark green, keep a spoon of dark green on your plate every single day or every alternate day. Now, where your other vegetables are concerned, except for carrot, don't count the starches as vegetables. Count all the other vegetables in the vegetable group and make sure that half your plate is full of vegetables. When we look at the other half of the plate, we want grain in 1/4. Now, what do we mean by grain? By grain, we mean any anaj, anything that grows in the earth. Now, this could range from millets to rice to poha, idli, dalia. In different regions in India, we eat different grains. It could be any grain you wish. A portion of grain would be counted in a small cup. So you could decide in a meal, do you want one portion or do you want 4 portions? Depending on your hunger, depending on what activity you've done before the meal, you can pace your grain accordingly. The grain is the most important part because it makes the biggest impact in the amount of calories that you take in. Now, the other fourth of the meal would be a protein-rich item. For vegetarians, it could probably be dal. It could be 1 papad. It could be maybe 2 spoons of chana, or 2 pieces of dokla. This would become your protein. For a non-vegetarian, it could probably be an egg, a little bit of chicken, or some fish, depending on what is available. Right now, we don't have too much available, so let's make do with whatever is available to us. Now, in a vegetarian meal, what will also be extremely important be your dairy intake. So if your meal is vegetarian, it would be very, very important to add a small proportion of yogurt if it's available, or maybe have a little bit of buttermilk by the side, a small glass of milk or coffee by the side. This would help complete your meal in entirety. So if this gives you a sense of how your plate should look, I want you to now extrapolate and say, okay, let's extend it from a plate to maybe a 1-pot meal. So if I were to, for example, throw in 2 cups of rice, 1 cup of cooked dal, some vegetables, and beat it up together and make a khichdi out of it, that becomes your 1-pot meal. So it doesn't have to necessarily look like a plate. So a 1-pot meal can also be balanced. Then a roll can also be balanced. I can take maybe a roti. I can put sabzi in it. I can put some mung sprouts in it, roll it up, and that becomes a balanced meal by itself. Then I could even do, for example, a dosa with a bowl of sambar, which is full of vegetables. And my dosa has my dal and rice in it already. Take 1 spoon of chutney by the side, and you're ready to go. So simple, hardy items that are available in the stores right now, if I just pick up on those and create simple meals, these are enough to keep me going through the day. Moving on, we can even push this a little forward and say, when I'm feeling hungry and I want to snack, what am I going to do? What am I going to do if I'm tempted to, say, get a takeaway? If I'm tempted to make an order, there are so many people who've opened up, saying that we can, you can place an order and they're ready to deliver right now in a hygienic fashion. Even when that happens, I want you to remember that your greens are the hero, your vegetables are the hero. Make a side order of vegetables and share the staples with the rest of the family. So maybe the rice, dal, or non-vegetarian component can be shared, but make a vegetable order for yourself so you're always in good health. Where keeping away from boredom is concerned, perhaps you make a little chart at home and say that, once a week, let's cook a new recipe together. Once a week, let's use an old recipe that we found with our grandmom. The rest of the time, we'll use home recipes. Once a week, let's place an outside order. 2-3 times a week, let the children help in the cooking. So there are various different ways to do it. The idea is just like get a plan in place so that you can keep this thing moving. The next step, and a very, very important step over here, is going to be that we look at this as an opportunity to sleep well. Now, 99% of my clients complain of lack of sleep. So on a regular day, they're like, we come home late, we don't get enough hours, we're stressed, we're running around. But now, my dear friends, is a time where we're not commuting, we're not stepping out of our homes. If nothing else, let's catch up on sleep. Having said that, there's no such thing as catching up on sleep. But can we try and build a sleep habit? Can we try and get those 8 hours in so that when we're done with the lockdown, these habits can be pushed forward and we can move on from there? How are you going to establish sleep habits? My advice to anyone who's listening would be get an 8-hour sleep window, which you're going to set in stone. You're going to say to yourself that come what may, I'm going to get 8 hours in. Ideally, go to bed early. There are no social commitments. You're not coming home late. Try and go to bed early and wake up early. But get those 8 hours going. So pay attention to the sleep. Another very important thing to pay attention to is junk. There's no concept of junk food. Let's be very, very clear about that. If we have to eat any junk and any rubbish, let's eat very small quantities. If there's sugary food, sweet food, let's keep the quantities small. Let's not deprive ourselves, but keep the quantities extremely small. Don't eat it just to fill boredom. The next thing I want to come to is this word immunity that everyone talks about. How do we keep our immunity up and going and up and bustly? Indians and Indian food as a norm already has so many immune boosting herbs and herbs that we add. For example, we're already adding turmeric, we're adding ginger. We do it without a second thought. We're adding mustard seeds without a second thought, without thinking, hey, this is an immune booster. We're adding it into our food. We eat vegetables, we eat grains. All these things are immune boosters already. But in times like this, perhaps a little bit extra vitamin C might help me go a long way. It's not going to keep me from getting ill, but it's going to keep me protected. So if a local shop has amla available or has some nice limbu available, cut it up, put it in the water, have it in the morning. Start your day alkaline so that you're good to go for the whole day. Let this be the first thing that you're having. Follow that up with anything that's orange in color, any orange food, whether it's papaya, whether it's carrot. These are foods that are very rich in vitamin A, which is again very necessary for us right now. So do your water and lemon. Follow that up maybe with a small cup, again your 100 grams, a small cup of papaya. Then perhaps get your exercise in, get your breakfast in after that. Make sure it's balanced. We spoke about the balanced plate. Get your exercise in. Then you can probably set up, probably that's going to be your work time. Then you move into lunch, which is again going to be balanced. Ideally, and if you have the energy, try and put in some sort of movement at least 2 or 3 times a day. The ideal ratio is 2:1. For every 2 hours in front of a screen, I need to be moving around for 1 hour. So if we can keep this in our mind, that every time I'm sitting in front of a screen for 2 hours, I need to get up, I need to move around for 15 minutes, then come back to your screen. That is going to just take you so far. What else can I cover? Don't worry about the slides. The CFA Society, they're going to send them to you. I would love to break into Q&A with Ratnasri right now, and any questions, send them to us on the chat box, and I'm ready to take them. Ratnasri, over to you, please.
Yeah, so a lot of questions coming in from the participants. So in the current situation, I think this is a very, very valid question, is how do we sanitize our vegetables and not, I think the intention is that and still not lose the nutrition value in that.
Mhm.
So sanitization has become very important with COVID
Mhm.
around.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what is the best way to do that?
Okay. So ideally, right now, let's stick with cooked vegetables. I think that is the safest thing to do. So let's wash our vegetables clean. I don't think we need to go into the stress of using potassium permanganate unless you're used to it from the start. Otherwise, scrub your vegetables clean them with your hands, and for a couple of weeks, let's stick with cooked vegetables. So that's why I didn't mention any juices. I didn't mention any, the only thing I would let go would be the chutney piece, which we're used to eating. But otherwise, I think normal cleaning and cooking is what we want to do. And of course, changing of the grocery bag, if you're getting groceries from somewhere, make sure you get rid of that bag outside of your home. Change the bag. If you're wearing gloves, make sure you get rid of the gloves when you come into the home.
All right. Also, is somebody is asking about, okay, one second, we'll come back to this question. What do you recommend for vitamin D and vitamin B12? Because these are things which are very, very important for, these days all the doctors say that your vitamin D and B12 should be up. So what are
Yeah.
the diet recommendations that you have for that?
Yeah. So like, Modi ji's asked us last night to go outside. We also need to go out in the day. Even if we have a tiny balcony, take turns, go outside, be in the balcony. Try your best to go out in a ganji or in a vest, because you want to expose as much as your upper body as you can without getting arrested. So go out and do that. The sun is really the best source of vitamin D. Besides that, any animal product is also a good source of vitamin D and of vitamin B12. So keep your milk going. If you're not vegan, if you're not lactose intolerant, your milk intake will help you. Your non-vegetarian food will help you. And yeah, that should be good. But go out in the sun. It helps your mood. It helps you with your vitamin D. Everything works when you're hit with sunlight. Where vitamin B12 is concerned, again, it's all animal products. So any animal source, if you have that in your diet, there is no way you'll be short of vitamin B12. You might be low on it, so you raise it by adding these products, but you won't be at a level where something can go wrong with you.
So that takes me to another question, which is what about vegans who don't have animal products? So how do they supplement themselves with food?
Okay. So where vegans are concerned, there's a product in the market called Nutritional Yeast. You can supplement with Nutritional Yeast. This is very high in B12. Any fermented products would help you. But besides these two, there's not much else that you can use. So but quite honestly, this is enough. A sprinkle of nutritional yeast is honestly very, very delicious. So you can have it on, whether you have it on a toast or if you have it in a roti, both ways, it's a very delicious option. Sprinkle it on vegetables. It's very tasty. So.
Of course, now that under the lockdown, we are not stepping out, but for people who typically travel a lot or eat out a lot because they're traveling, what are the recommendations of managing their diet, and how do they eat out and yet eat healthy?
So again, when you're eating out, you have to remember that the food outside in a restaurant tastes better than home food, because there's extra fat, there's extra oil in it. So when you're eating out, definitely reassess your portion size. So eat a little less than you normally would, because you're getting those calories by way of extra fat, right? Besides that, again, I have to reiterate, our vegetables are are the hero. So do not go to a restaurant and not order vegetables. It just doesn't work. And in every restaurant, you have vegetables available. In an Indian restaurant, it's called tawa vegetables. In a Chinese restaurant, it's called stir fried greens. Elsewhere, it could be like a soup. But vegetables are available everywhere. If not on the main menu, you can look at the sides. So you look at sides and you might get stir-fried mushrooms, you might get, grilled tomatoes, grilled capsicums. Definitely order the vegetables, and try and keep your plate balanced. Try not to eat fried food very often. There are certain hints on the menu that when you read it, you'll know if something, if it says golden fried, or if it says golden, that these things are fried and batter fried. So stay away from those foods, or eat them less often, and try and keep a balanced plate when you go out. Consume less alcohol, and that's the way to go when you go out. Also, with going out, have a plan. Decide how many times in a week you want to eat out. Don't unless you don't have a choice, then you have to be more careful. You have to have a stronger plan in mind. Otherwise, a plan that just tells you how many times should be good.
So I have another question from Mr. Karthik Venkataswamy, and I think I've also struggled with an answer to this many a time, which is what is the right time to consume fruits? Because there's a lot of thing going around that fruits they have too much fructose, and also you shouldn't have fruit with the meal and various things like that. So what is the right time to eat between meals, early morning, late evening? What is a good time to eat fruit?
Right. So to start out, fruits are carbohydrates. They're pure carbohydrates. They are energy giving foods. If you're someone who wants to lose weight, I wouldn't suggest fruit if you're eating many other foods. If you're a fruitarian, it's a different thing. But if you're eating many other fruits, then perhaps one fruit a day is more than enough for you. Now, where timing is concerned, fruit does get digested before any other food. So ideally, you want to eat it beginning of the day. Don't save it for post meal, because then it gets putrid in your system. So when you finish the meal, wait like maybe an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours if you can, and then do your fruit, or then do it first thing in the morning. Now, another school of thought tells us that, hey, I cooked this food with orange juice, so what are you even talking about? Now, if you belong to that group and you're all right cooking with fruit, or all right eating jam, then let's not be very rigid. If you belong to that school of thought, then just go with that and allow it to be. But if you're more orthodox there and you want to do the right thing, then let's just do it. Let's eat it early in the morning, or not mix it with meals. Having said that, if a person is diabetic, then I don't want them to eat fruit alone at all. I would rather they plug it in with a meal, with some seeds, because you don't want a blood sugar spike. So again, it changes person to person and situation to situation. So that's how fruit works.
Another question is that if you're hungry between meals and you want to snack, what are the kind of snacks you could recommend? Somebody asked, is hummus with vegetables, is that a great snack? Or what other snacks can be consumed?
Right. So hummus with vegetables is a fantastic snack. I have a hummus story. So I have some kids who I counsel who study outside. She studies at Manipal, which is an institute close to Bangalore. And so hummus and vegetables is fantastic. She learned a beautiful hummus recipe from her mom, and she went to college. Now, hummus, when I make the hummus, 2 tablespoons of hummus can give me a cup of dal. Think about it, right? If I add water to 2 tablespoons of hummus, I'll get like maybe 1 cup of dal. So treat it like that. 2 spoons of hummus, think about it as a cup of dal. Eat it with your vegetables. It's a fabulous snack. But I don't want you to eat like 2 cups of hummus. Then that is just too much, right, to eat. So it's a very tasty food, but just understand what food group it belongs to and eat it in the right portion size. But it's a fantastic food to eat.
All right. Another question that we have is something from the documentary Game Changer, because I think a lot of people are watching that. So,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on moving from non-vegetarian to vegetarian diet, or almost vegan also, I think, at many a times?
Right.
So,
Right.
what are your thoughts on it?
So as a nutrition practitioner, I want to be a flexitarian. I don't want to take a stand on someone on which one is better. You know, for me, they're all equal. You know, you could come to me and say I'm a vegan, and I'm going to help you balance your food and give you a budget, a food budget for whatever you're eating. What I want people to know is read it well, right? So if you plan on going vegan, read about it. Like you asked me very clearly about what happens where vitamin B12 is concerned. So take the right supplement, take that nutritional yeast. Don't just jump on the bandwagon because someone else is doing it. Read about it carefully. A lot of times, a lot of diets which are published are meant for a 6 foot American male. Don't go by that. Extrapolate it, bring it down to to our Asian height and weight, and follow the portion sizes accordingly. The vegan plan is a wonderful plan for someone who feels deeply for animals, for example. You know, in that situation, it's the best thing that you can do. But if you're doing it for fun and for style, do it for a short time and then learn to go back to what works for you. But like I said, either way, my stand is being a flexitarian. I'm not orthodox about what a person does.
Fantastic. Now, a lot of vegetarians, especially when they're doing exercising a lot, they worry about their protein consumption.
Yes.
What would you recommend if they need more protein or higher protein? What are the better sources of protein for them?
Right. So to make protein biologically available for a vegetarian, combining food is extremely important. That's why I spoke about this healthy eating plate. So just eating copious amounts of, say, dal, or copious amounts of, maybe chana or maybe sprouts is not going to help a vegetarian, because the protein will be present, but it's not biologically available to the person's body. So when a person is vegetarian, it is very, very crucial to combine that protein, combine the dal with an equal amount of either rice or roti or millets. Combine it. The portion size is normally 3:1, which is 3 portions of rice is to 1 portion of dal. So you combine these two, you add some vegetables, and then you supplement it with some dairy. That's how a vegetarian will get a pure form of protein. So once they put all this together, then the protein becomes biologically available. So even if they have to eat a small portion, I would suggest mix everything up together and eat it rather than eating it separately. Another good way to get protein for a vegetarian, I mean, dairy is a fantastic source. If they're okay making a milkshake for themselves, or if they're okay with buttermilk, this is a wonderful source of protein. Dahi is a wonderful source of protein for vegetarians.
There are a lot of questions coming up on supplements.
Uh-huh.
Because obviously people take a lot of supplements, whether it is protein shakes or vitamin
Mhm.
C's or whatever.
Mhm.
What is your advice on supplements, and how do we use them with our diet?
Okay, I have, I don't advise them, I don't take them, but I know a lot of people do. Turn the box around, read the instructions carefully, read and look at how much is required for your body. Like I have so many female clients, especially, who will come in with weight issues, who are absolutely unable to lose weight because they're on protein powders and they're taking way beyond what their body can absorb. So there's a scoop inside the box. Figure out how much protein you need in the day. Reduce the quantity of protein that you're taking in the form of a protein powder from your food, and then go ahead and take the protein powder. So I'm not saying it's wrong. but read the box carefully and take advice. That's what'll help the most.
Does cooking at high pressure take away the nutrients from the food? Because we hear a lot about that. So we are now talking about eating cooked food. So what is the right thing to do?
Yes. So ideally, if push comes to shove, use the pressure cooker. But ideally, you want to cook in a vessel, right? So, but sometimes if the dal is very hardy, if you're cooking chana and rajma that hasn't been soaked very well, then you need a pressure cooker. But where it's not required, my advice is don't use it. Microwaves, of course, are completely out. Like, do not even do not use microwaves at all. But the lower the pressure, the better. Choose your oils wisely. This helps tremendously. So there are some oils that have a higher a higher. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. So there are some, so for example, mustard oil, if you take mustard oil and use it for your cooking. So if I'm making a vegetable in which I won't be able to taste the oil, so I'm making like a chana masala, for example, then I can use mustard oil. I'll use that. I won't be able to taste it. It has a very strong pungent taste, but it's very, very good for me. So use that for cooking things where you can't taste it unless you love the taste. If it's a virgin oil, use it only to sprinkle over raw foods, to pour over raw foods. Don't cook with it, because the smoking point of a virgin oil is not meant. You're not meant to put it on a gas. The smoking point is very low. So high smoking point oils will go on a high flame. Low smoking point oils will go on a low flame. If you just want to stir fry, for example, use a sesame oil. That'll work the best. And get a nice effective fat strategy at home. Rotate oils at home and match them to the temperature, and that way you're going to get the best of everything. Ghee has a high smoking point, mustard oil has a high smoking point, avocado oil has a high smoking point. Use these for all the bhuna hua kaam that you do at home. Use these oils for that. Does that answer your question at all?
Yes. What are your thoughts on ghee? Because ghee is highly promoted in Ayurveda and
Yes.
for those who do yoga and all of that. So what are your thoughts on ghee as something which we consume?
Right. So ghee again is one more source of fat. So like I said, for me, it's important that you have a good fat strategy going. Don't negate the essential fatty acids that you get in any other fat. Use your ghee where it's required. Don't force it into foods where it's not required. Like I wouldn't force ghee into my coffee, but I would put ghee over my roti. So use it where it's meant to be used, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I don't want people to force ghee into their foods. If you already are eating oil, make sure you remove a little bit of oil from your day's consumption and then replace that with ghee. There's no reason to simply add dollops of ghee on everything just because ghee is trending right now. The nutrition industry is such that fat gets a bad rap couple of years, and then the next couple of years it's trending. So we have to be a little careful of these things.
Yeah, but an extension to that, apparently mustard oil is banned in Europe and US for edible purposes.
Is it cooking mustard oil?
I don't know. This is coming from Abhishek, so I'm sure he knows.
No, that's palm oil. I don't think it's mustard oil. Is it Abhishek Lunkar? Then yes, we have. Yes. Oh my God! Then we have like a. Abhishek, is it palm oil? Otherwise, we're going to take this online and debate on it. I think it's palm oil, but I don't think it's mustard oil. But yeah, but we'll take it offline and talk about it.
Okay, we've discussed a lot about vegetarians and vegans, but what is your advice for those who are non-vegetarians and very, very happy to be eating a lot of non-vegetarian food? How would, what are the pros and cons of that, and what is it that they can do to improve their diet without being too, without having other challenges? So.
Right. Again, what you need to know about non-veg food is that it's definitely acidic. It definitely increases the inflammation in your body. So supplement it with better foods. Can I add immunity boosting foods into my non-vegetarian plate? Can I make sure that half my plate has vegetables when I'm eating non-vegetarian protein? Can I limit the amount of non-vegetarian food I eat? For example, if I'm eating 3 non-vegetarian meals, can I bring them down to 1? Can I do 2 meals vegetarian and 1 non-vegetarian? I think that is a very good balance for anyone to have. So and can I change from maybe the red meats to white meats? I don't have to have like a red meat every day. Can I do a little bit of white meat and fish? So maybe you can spread that out and get benefits from everything.
So I have a question here about a new mother and how does she ensure that she remains healthy and takes care and keeps her baby healthy. So anything for a new mother that you would like to add?
Sure. So again, it's a beautiful time because you're nurturing this human being. So if the mother is, so again, the advice changes. I'd love for her to email me later. So the advice changes if she's nursing and not nursing. If she's nursing, it's very crucial that she stays well hydrated, because the child takes all the nutrition from its mom, and hydration becomes absolutely necessary. So with every nursing session, or whatever you want to call it, keep a bottle of water next to you and make sure that you take it. The balanced meal thing is extremely important. Make sure your meals are balanced. Make sure you don't overeat. So in a day, what a baby needs is 1 extra meal, which means you don't have to eat for 2 people. You have to eat 1 extra meal. So maybe 1 lunch is enough for your baby for the whole day. This will help you maintain your weight and not get into weight issues later on. Also, the nursing period is a very important period if you want to maintain your weight and stay healthy. So once you're done with your 6 weeks, if it's a C-section, or once you're done, if it's a normal delivery, start exercising, start walking, and that's what will keep you in super good stead. And all the things that we receive from our mums, the panjiris, everything is great. Have it in proportion. Don't have a box of laddus. Have 1 laddu if your mom has sent it to you. There's absolutely no need to gorge on food like it's like there's a famine. You just have to make sure that it's 1 extra meal. That's very, very important for a new mom to understand.
So I don't know exactly what this means, but this is a question from one of the attendees. What is your opinion on nootropics for performing to your full potential? Do you think there are any side effects?
On nootropics?
Nootropics. I'm not sure what that is.
Nootropics, maybe nutrition tropics. No, I don't think I can take that. I don't know about
it. Okay, all right. So I think this is a question from Isha Narula. Maybe you need to expand on what that is. We have not understood your question. Also, what are your recommendations for improving metabolism? Because some people have a low metabolic rate and therefore find it difficult to lose weight. What should they be doing?
Right. So first of all, we have to establish whether this connection really works. This whole low metabolic rate. Your metabolic rate is what it is, right? There's you exercise and your metabolic rate will definitely get better. There's no like magic dust that I can throw on your metabolic rate and make it better. Your output is better, your metabolic rate will definitely get better. There's no easy solution. So that's how it is.
In these situations, I think we are storing a lot of food because everything is not available fresh. What are your comments on storing food, whether it's cooked or fresh, as well as frozen meat products?
Right. So meat products, yes, they can go into the freezer. What you need to try and do is break them up into smaller portion sizes, so that you're not removing the box from the freezer and then refreezing food. So refreezing food is not something that you want to do. So make sure that it's in smaller portion sizes that you're going to be using at a particular time. You pull it out of the freezer, you use it, and you're done with it. Where storing, for example, greens is concerned, take a glass, like as if you're, planting something, put water in it, keep your washed kothmeer in it, and put it in the fridge. It helps greens last longer. So you can use a glass with water for pudina and kothmeer and everything else. Nice watertight boxes for glass boxes for the rest of your food, watertight steel boxes for the rest of your food. Check the cooked food often. You don't want any fungus in your food. If you see any fungus forming, make sure you discard the whole thing. Don't look at, okay, only the top bread has fungus, so I'll keep the rest. Don't do that. It's already spread to the rest of the food as well. So, and another nice way to look at it is, you have extra, you share it. Let's not overstore and overconsume. Let's try and share if we have extra.
Another question is about brown rice, because a lot of people are speaking very highly about brown rice instead of white rice.
Yeah.
What is your take on white rice and brown rice?
Right. So brown rice is the same as white rice, but it has more fiber because it's unpolished, and it has one more layer on it still. So in every sense of the word, it's better than a white rice. But if you're already receiving enough fiber in your food the rest of the day, then there's just no need whatsoever to chase brown rice, because brown rice takes more digestive energy. So if you're a white rice eater and you're getting your fiber through vegetables, you're getting your fiber through other sources, there's no need to suddenly change to brown rice. And calorie to calorie, brown rice and white rice are the same. The nutrients are the same. The fiber differs, and a little bit of the vitamin B12, not B12, vitamin B differs. So do it based on what else is in your diet. If you're someone who eats no fiber at all, you eat no vegetables, then definitely change from white rice to brown rice, because you do need that fiber in your food.
I think one question is about the financial industry is full of stress. So all of the industry tend to stress a lot. Yeah. And a lot of people have been asking, what about, drinking? What about sleep? Because these are the two challenges they find. So is there anything you would recommend for reducing stress? Of course, you spoke about, exercise, and you spoke about just calming down a bit, maybe meditation and things like that. But what other, in terms of food, is there anything that you would recommend for reducing stress and improving sleep?
Well, for reducing stress, improving sleep, definitely anything that's caffeinated. You don't want to have that after 3 o'clock for some people, after 5 o'clock for some people. You don't want to have anything that has coffee in it. So reduce the caffeine intake. If you're someone who drinks, reduce the alcohol intake later on in the night. If you're somebody who's taking alcohol, I do not recommend alcohol. And just because you said drinking, I'm saying, alternate every drink with water. Have more anti-inflammatory foods, have more phytonutrients, more colored vegetables, more iron-rich vegetables. These are the things that will probably fight the negating effects of food. For some people, what works like magic is a calming cup of tea in the night. Some people do very well with the good old haldi doodh in the night. It works beautifully for a lot of people. Have a light dinner and have a glass of milk before you go to bed. These are the ultimate age-old stress busters. If you're eating dairy, then you can go ahead and have one of those. Yeah.
One last question before we close. Yeah. What do you suggest? What are your thoughts on water? Because today we are talking about RO not being great, and there's something called Kangen water which is available.
Yes.
I think we'll keep this as the last question.
Yeah.
What would you recommend?
Right. So for me, as far as the person works on getting their body to be alkaline in the morning, like my clients, if they do that, that's good enough for me. I don't have an issue. So you start your morning alkaline with either water with lemon, water with apple cider vinegar, water with a little bit of amla. That works the best for me. If you have an RO system in the house, nothing like it. I'm okay if a client boils their water on the gas and has it. That is also enough. Where Kangen water is concerned, if you can afford it, why not? You know, these days there's a lot of things that are available. For some people they're luxuries, for some people they can afford it. So you know, if you can, why not? But otherwise, I don't think it's a necessity, for sure.
So with that, I will close this session. Thank you so much for joining us, Shalini, for this webinar and sharing your insights. I hope I have answered all the participants' questions. Please share your feedback. I'm just posting this on the chat for all the attendees. It's already shared. Please share your feedback about today's session. The video recording of the session will be available to all the attendees on the CFA Institute website shortly. You can access it over there. Vidhi, is there anything else you would like me to add before we close the session? Yeah. So I think we will close it here.
Lovely. Thank you so much. This was lovely.
Thank you for joining us, Shalini. So see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, attendees, for joining us for today's webinar. Hope you enjoyed the session.